Plan Commission, Board of Zoning Appeals. Did I miss anybody? Who else?
Economic Development
Okay,
has a meeting as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
so all of those meetings, all of those public meetings are where people can, you don't have to get out in the snow and the cold in the wintertime. Or for those people who can't get out, it's a wonderful thing. Well, we're looking at 6:30, almost. I'm gonna call this meeting of the Board of Zoning Appeals to order. This is our last meeting for the year. So first we'll have roll call.
Kevin Scobie,
Present.
Kate Skirvin,
Here.
Terry Dorset,
Here.
Laura Scott.
Present.
Also present is Jim Inslee, County Attorney, and Lisa Ziner, Plan Director. Not present is Raymond McLeod, but we do have a quorum of 4.
Thank you. There are no minutes to review. Oops, you know what I didn't do, Lisa? Yeah. Yeah, okay, we're good. So we don't have any minutes from the November meeting to review. The next item on the agenda is the 2026 meeting date review and approval. With a motion, I would like to move that to after old business for us to discuss that, if one of you would like to make that motion. After new business, sorry, after new business, thank
I'll
you.
make a motion to move that to the last thing.
Okay.
That would be after new business.
Second. All right, all in favor of that motion? Aye?
Aye.
Okay, so we'll bump that down. Before we begin the old business, I want to, just, because we have 2 members that are kind of new to the Board of Zoning Appeals, I wanted to go over a couple of things. One is that if somebody is going to abstain from voting on a case that we hear, as board members, if you would let me know ahead of time so that we can plan accordingly. Secondly, just to remind everybody that there is to be no contact with petitioner or people who want to talk to you about cases. Unlike Planning Commission and Board of Zoning Appeals, there are very strict differences that we have. And then lastly, and this is in the UDO, but I want to pass it out. There's one for each of you. This explains under special exceptions, of which we have 2 tonight. And I underlined a couple of things, and let me cover this with everybody who's here also. The purpose of a special exception, it's a use that requires more review because of its potential adverse impact upon the immediate neighborhood and the community. Unlike developmental standards, which is another thing that we hear. And if you turn the page, I highlighted in orange the review criteria. The BZA may approve a special exception upon a determination in writing that the proposed use, 1, is consistent with the vision, goals, and objectives of the comprehensive plan, 2, complies with the requirements of this ordinance, 3, is compatible with the character of the general vicinity, 4, can be adequately served by essential public facilities and service such as streets, police and fire protection, drainage systems, refuse disposal, water and sewers, and schools. And 5th, does not create circumstances detrimental to people, property, or the general welfare by producing excessive traffic, noise, smoke, fumes, glare, odor, or other conditions incompatible with the uses permitted in the zoning district. And lastly, allows orderly development of the surrounding property for uses permitted in the district. So those 6 review criteria, in order to approve the request for a special exception, all all of those things we have to answer in the affirmative that a case does or does not do any of those things. So it's in Chapter 8 of the UDO, pages 14 through 18. And that basically are the marching orders of the Board of Zoning Appeals and what we can and cannot do, and the basis on which we make those decisions. So, with that, what we have under old business is case 2025-SE-064 Cameron Gibson, a special exception dog kennel and setback variance in a rural preservation A1 zoning district, Monroe Township, 2326 North County Road East, parcel 67-05-343-009.000-013. So, the minutes, this case was first heard at the October meeting, and it was continued to November. And Cameron, I think you were out of town or unavailable in November, so we are hearing this case again tonight. In that the hearing transpired, the public hearing occurred, and people had an opportunity to give their opinions either for or against this. But the person who was not here was Kate. And so, Kate, if you have, well, first I should ask, do you have any additional information to bring to the board? Anything that has changed since your application in October? And you will have to come up here to be heard on the microphone. And then Kate, if you have questions after, since you have reviewed the minutes, I will toss it to you to ask other questions. Okay. I wish this were a rounded table, a curved table. Okay.
So at this point,
updates?
Eric Gibson,
Okay.
and this is Cameron Gibson. At this point, we want to amend what we're asking for. Right now, we're only asking for a development standard variance. We want, instead of 50 feet, we want to be able to put the mini barn structure at 25 feet, which would be more consistent in line with the barn. If you want to direct your attention to the screen up here, I can show you visually what we're wanting.
Okay, so, what you're seeking is a developmental standard variance for setback from essentially 0 or a foot or two.
No, it's currently 50 feet according to the UDO.
Okay.
We're asking for a reduction to 25 feet.
Okay, but as it stands right now, where that building is,
Right,
it's on the property line, right?
currently, yes.
Okay,
Nothing has been done because no finality has been put towards this request.
okay. Lisa, do you have input? I mean, were you aware of this?
They brought this, so I've been on vacation, so I talked to Eric this morning, or mid-afternoon, saying that he was going to change his request. So originally, he had requested a reduction from 50 feet to 0 feet. They're wanting to go from the required 50 feet to 25 feet. Potentially, and if I misspeak, tell me, they may be demolishing that existing structure.
We're still on the fence about that. No, you're fine. They can hear me. We're still on the fence.
It's not us. Yeah, we can hear you.
We're still on the fence whether we're gonna demolish the barn that it currently exists. So, that will be decided at a later time and date.
Okay, it doesn't, I mean, you're significantly changing your variance request.
No, the development standard was in there. We're just, in the October meeting.
Right.
We saw a trend that you didn't like those very small footages. So that's why we're trying to accommodate everybody as much as possible and go from the 0 or the 3 feet to the 25 feet, which in the October meeting, that seemed to be pleasing to the board in the several requests that were there. So that's, we're kind of follow in tune with that and ask for a 25-foot
Okay,
setback.
but we still have to address the special exception portion of this, which is the actual use.
We don't have to because we're withdrawing that at this time. The development standard was also in that packet. That's all we're asking you to act on tonight, is the development standard.
However, I mean, if you're just moving a barn, you're moving a barn 25 feet, but is this barn not being used as a kennel?
At this time, we've opted to go a different avenue,
And that is,
TBD, to be determined. We don't know yet.
okay, but you are still boarding dogs there, is that not correct?
We are currently we abide by the current ordinance. If you have 4 or more dogs, that's considered a boarding facility. We do not. So at that point, we're not asking for a special exception for a kennel. All we're wanting to do is the development standard variance. I'm sorry.
So in the UDO, a kennel is described as 4 or more dogs, cats, or small animals that are used for boarding, grooming, blah, 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 blah. So if they have less than 4, it's not considered a kennel, and therefore it would not fall under requiring a special exception. So what they're proposing is withdrawing their special exception request and just being able to have a accessory structure 25 feet from the property line instead of 50.
Okay.
Can you show me?
Yeah, so I don't know how big you can make this.
I think what's closest to.
Yeah, bigger. Okay.
It does.
Right, so if you, it's really hard to notice, the barn is this structure here. The actual portable structure currently is very close to the property line. We are wanting to move it back. This barn is approximately 33 by 24. Instead of the 50-foot, because we don't want it sticking out past this barn, because currently there's a giant hole right here where she's building her house. So we're just asking whether, this is the barn that's in question, whether we're going to demolish it or not. We don't know at this point, but we're wanting to put the portable structure right in this area here on the west side of that barn, south side of the property line, and we're asking for the 25-foot setback variance.
Okay, so just for the portable structure.
Just for the portable structure. The barn that's there is grandfathered. It was there long before the new UDO 2 years ago. So, like I said, we're just gonna have to figure out if it's cost effective to remetal it or raise it.
Other questions, guys?
So do you have plans to put another structure up next to that kennel that you're talking about moving?
The
or-
only structure that's being built currently is her house. We have no future plans to build. At some point, she is going to build on or a larger barn for her goats that she has on the property. But that, again, that's TBD. That's 2, 3, 4 years down the road.
All right, so privacy fence and all of that, that's,
No, that's still going,
okay,
that-
Definitely still gonna-
that's still going in, but it's
Okay.
just where,
That won't happen until next spring now, because.
well, yeah, weather,
Hardest go round, ground's harder than anything right now.
so.
okay.
Okay, it, I understand that you wish to withdraw the special exception. However, if you're going to continue to board or house any dogs in excess of 4, and you already have an existing business, so what's gonna happen to those people who
What you
have-
don't understand is that business is not full-time. There are several weeks that there is not a single dog there. It's not a full-time. It's just her clientele that she has built up. Every once in a while, they go out of town, and she has one client that the dog is 16 years old and gets like 15 medications. It's ridiculous. But
But the point being, you,
I'll have to turn people away. if
you
I
have
see them.
contracted, I mean, in essence, you have contracted or made an agreement with customers that you already have. And in order to have more than 4 animals on site that are being boarded, then the special exception doesn't go away.
And we're well aware of that. We're not going to have more than 4 animals. Cameron will not have more than 4
We're out of my
animals.
house, so there's not any rules
Like I said,
about that, guess.
We tried to tell you from the very beginning, it is a very low-impact, low-key business. It's not even a full-time business. She doesn't have dogs there 24/7, 365. So we wanted to clarify that, and that's why we're withdrawing it, because apparently everybody was in, just was unaware of what she wanted to do. Apparently, we didn't do a very good job explaining in the October meeting.
Well, but in the October meeting, you were talking about the possibility of boarding 12 dogs.
No.
No, I mean,
We
it's
were
in the
talking about
records.
possibly redoing the barn, making it available. We are no longer doing that.
Okay, but that was a significant part of the discussion, was the number of dogs that you were going to have in the
I don't know
future.
why we're continuing to talk about this. All we're asking for is the development standard variance. We're not asking for a special exception for a kennel at this time. That might be something that we visit next year, later down the road, but as of right now, we are asking to withdraw that, special exception and just ask for the setback development standard variance.
Folks, questions and concerns? I'm inviting discussion here amongst the board members. And you can ask questions, you just recuse yourself from voting. So if you have any input, Kevin, you can be involved in the discussion.
Did you officially recuse yourself, Mr. Scobie?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, he did.
I didn't hear it, I
Yes,
apologize.
you did.
Okay, so you, just clarify for everybody, so you will not have any more than 4 dogs at one time being boarded?
Cameron will not have more than 4
Okay.
dogs at any time.
Okay. And a lot of your business is actually going out to people's houses, correct?
I just quit doing the overnights because of my children.
Right. Right.
Terry? Go ahead and
Yeah,
just
I don't-
voice your concerns.
I don't really have any questions. I mean, I don't have an issue in this development standards going to 25 feet, because we've done similar things with that. I don't know how exactly we proceed with, because part of it's a change, and
Is there a reason that that structure cannot be moved to meet the requirement? If you're gonna move it, is there a reason that it can't?
If you'll recall, when I pointed out this barn, it's at 50 feet, it would be quite a bit further past the existing barn. We don't want that because of space. This is the drive area that we bring hay and feed and everything else into the barn. Yeah, this is a fenced-in area here. So we don't want to go past that barn. That's why we're asking for the 25 feet.
There's also a thing in the UDO that says accessory structures cannot be in front of residential structures. So in order to keep that from happening, that has to be that 25 feet.
do you in turn take from that portable kennel and stuff, do you take them from there to the barn? Is that
No,
part of what?
they're
They're in
never,
that.
they're never loose.
Yeah,
They're
they've got
always in,
outdoor runs.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean,
they would have to be Houdini to get
yeah, like I said,
loose,
I've been
per
doing
se.
this up there since August, and I've not had an escapee, a dig out, climb out, nothing. I have cameras up there 24/7, and trust me, he was on FaceTime with my sister this night. My cameras were going off like crazy because it tracks all the dog's movements.
I normally do not, after a hearing is closed, ask for further input, but in that this case has significantly changed, I'm gonna ask the Grimes family, who live next door, your input. Yes, please.
Just stand in the light.
You're fine
Okay.
where you are.
I'm Sandra Grimes. I live at 2422 North County Road, 50 East, Greencastle. And I do have a concern. If you want, I have a recording just standing at my back door yesterday and this morning of the dogs barking. And we're outside a lot. And it kind of drives us crazy, actually, because we've lived there, 50 years at this property? And I just don't care for all the noise.
Okay. Do you guys have questions you want to ask either Mr. and Mrs. Grimes?
Do you have any dogs yourself?
I have two.
Ours are kept in the house all the time,
Yeah.
just when they go out.
I mean, and you know, I'm a dog lover. I used to be president of the Humane Society here in the county, and worked with the sheriff's department and so forth to work on our shelter and home animals. So it's not that I'm a dog hater, but also it's easy to look on Facebook. She's been booked several times full. So I think that's more than 4 dogs.
Is it 4 or more,
4.
up to 4, or 4 or more?
She needs the mic.
The definition in the UDO says a kennel is an establishment housing 4 or more dogs, cats, or other small animals, and where boarding, grooming, breeding, training, or selling of animals is conducted either for commercial or non-commercial purposes.
Okay, so as the UDO is written right now, I mean, they could have 15 dogs there. 4 or more, is what you're saying.
To be considered a kennel,
Right.
yes.
Okay.
If they have less than 4, so if they have 3, 2, or 1, it is not a kennel.
Okay. Jim? When we do special exceptions, frequently we will put restrictions or requirements on a special exception. In a case of a developmental standard request, can you put any requirements on that?
We've never done it. I don't think the reason why is because usually with development standard, you're just looking at a number, whether it's, height or setback or whatever, and it's just a request to move from one number to another number, is all it is. It's not, it's unlike a special exception or unlike a commitment that we see with the rezone. There's not really any other circumstances surrounding it. It's just a straight up, we like it to be this instead of this. So I wouldn't see that as, that's not really,
Germane.
It doesn't seem likely. I mean, just,
Okay.
like I said, usually it's,
Okay.
like for example, when they did, somebody comes for, they want a lot, they're just looking for a number,
Right.
as far as going backwards or whatever, that type of thing.
Another question, Lisa, if you can refresh my memory, when someone violates, the requirements of a special exception or violates a finding of fact that the Board of Zoning Appeals has made, what are the penalties associated with that?
There's a whole section on that. So there's, failure to comply with development standards is a $100 fine for the first offense, $200 for each offense after that. And sorry, I'm scanning. There's another one that talks about failure to comply with written commitments, which would be what a special exception is. That is a $500 fine for the first offense and $1,000 for anything after that.
And actually, on 8.8, where the development standard variance, that's the chapter it's under.
Right.
It does have provisions for commitments and conditions of approval. I've never
So-
seen them.
We have done under the previous zoning ordinance when somebody had come in and asked for development standards variance to reduce the lot size, so taking it from smaller than what the ordinance did. You guys put a stipulation on it, how it couldn't go past an X number. You've done that. You've also put stipulations on the width of driveways when we had a road frontage development standard under the previous ordinances. So you have done that in the past, never anything with special or with setback variances.
Yeah.
If I may, we are also, I would also like to add, we are already going above and beyond by adding the 6-foot wooden fence, and she spent a couple $1,000 soundproofing and insulating the facility. So, I mean, I don't know what else you can tack onto that to make you happy, but we've already gone above and beyond.
It isn't a matter of making someone happy, it's addressing the ordinances that we have, Mr. Gibson. And if you would like to have a seat and you can give the mic back to Lisa, I think we're finished with asking questions. You can have a seat up here. And at this point, I think it's a discussion among board members.
Is it the existing structure that's there?
They're not asking about the existing structure. They're asking about the accessory structure, that portable structure. They're wanting to move it 25 feet from the property line.
So that's really the only thing there is for
That's
this
the only
board
thing
to
that they're
decide.
asking about, yes.
As long, with that, as long as it's 3 or less animals, then we really don't have, this board really doesn't have anything to do with it.
Correct.
As long as they stay within that.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So really, we're only deciding if she can have the variance to have, to go 25 feet instead of 50.
Right.
That's
Correct.
all that we're
That's
deciding.
really all
That
it
is
is.
correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. In the event, well, I mean, the ordinance states you can have up to 3 dogs. I think that should be part of the motion, if there is a motion to approve. That's, no,
No, he was not.
it can't be. It's just totally the distance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I would say that the ordinance, the animal control ordinance, which the county has, is still going to be in effect. And for any neighbors that experience noise, that's going to be your alternative to call if we approve this. And if there are more than 3 dogs, I mean, you've had the ordinance read and you are aware of that. So if that is not followed, then I think you call the county, you call 911.
So how would I know if they have?
It's under the sheriff. It's under the sheriff's department. No, there's, no. It is, but it goes through the sheriff's office.
How will we know if there's more than the 3 dogs? I mean,
If the noise is an issue, if the noise is an issue. Okay, and if Ms. Gibson continues, if you exceed the 3-dog limit, that sounds like the 3-dog limit, you know, the special, if you want to continue, you know, you're gonna have to go back to the special exception, if this is approved, and we haven't taken that vote. It's unusual for us to have the elements of a case completely amended as this one, as you're doing, as you're requesting tonight. Is there further discussion, Terry and Kate, about this? And if so,
I think I'm good.
Yep, I'm good.
okay. Is there a motion either to approve or deny?
I'll make a motion to approve for the, reduction to 25 feet in the setback.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
A motion has been made by Terry and seconded by Kate to approve the developmental standard of 25 feet from the 50 feet required. And there, make note that the special exception has been, the request for that special exception has been withdrawn by Cameron Gibson. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Okay, under new business, we have Rex Atkins, which is a developmental standards variance, setback reduction in a residential R1 zoning district, Greencastle Township, 3033 South County Road 200 West, Greencastle, parcel 67-09-32-201-001.000-007. Hi. Okay,
I'm Amanda Canada. I had to fill in for Rex this evening.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. Amanda, if you want to go into the standards variance that you're seeking?
Yes, I believe there's a 30-foot setback. We currently already have a fiber optic utility building in the space, and the only space we have left that we have a lease agreement from. I do believe we're 27.5 feet instead of 30 feet. So and I can't push the buildings any closer because of the stoops.
Okay.
I've tried to align them as best as possible. Yeah, she's right there. So there's a stoop, there's a little stoop right here, and the new building, I've offset it so the other stoop is beside it, but I just can't get it. The building is twice this size, it's a double wide, it's a fiber optic utility building. And so it would go about here, so it's, from here, it's about 17.5 feet.
Just for a little bit of background, when the structure that's placed there was built, it was under the old ordinance and under the 2-mile fringe for the city of Greencastle, and their setbacks were different. Now that this 2-mile fringe went away, it's under county jurisdiction, so they have to abide by our setbacks, so that's why she's here before us.
We didn't have to do it last time.
Okay. When was that fiber optic building put in?
I think 2021 was my last drawing, so it was probably built in 22.
Okay, so it's fairly recent.
Yeah.
Yeah. The information in the packet with drawings is very thorough. And the recommendation from the planning department is approval based on it not being injurious or a problem. Do you all have questions for her? Terry?
I've read it, it looked,
Very straightforward.
yep, very
Yeah.
straightforward.
Yeah, and thorough. Thank you. Thank you for that.
I will make a motion to approve this as presented.
All right. All right, motion by Kevin to approve is presented. Need a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Terry. All in favor of the motion to approve this developmental standard variance, say aye.
Aye.
4-0. You're good to go. Yep. All righty. I just buried the agenda. Okay. Good News Mission, special exception, to allow a vocational school in an A2 zoning district, Cloverdale Township, 11707 South County Road 300 West, Cloverdale. Parcel 67-16-007-900-001.000-002.
Hello,
Hi,
may I sit?
you may. Yeah, pull up a chair.
Get one of these comfy ones.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
It's got a low rail.
It does have a low rail, yeah, yeah. The chairs will raise and lower. So if you'll introduce yourself and tell us what your plans are, what you would like to do here.
My name's Dan Evans. I'm the Executive Director of Good News Ministries. I've been such for 34 years. And we would like to build a school building and gymnasium on 145 acres that we have there on the thumb that sticks out into Cagle's Mill Lake.
Okay. Can you give us a little more, I guess didn't realize you were gonna build a gym and a school. How big a building are you talking, Dan?
15,360 square feet. If you don't mind, I can roll these out in front of you guys.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
A live easel. That would be the floor plan of it. There's 7 classrooms, a couple of offices, restroom, a little bit of storage space, and then a full court basketball court. That would be the gymnasium portion. There's some elevation views, and then there is a site plan. You can see kind of where it sits on the site. And
Tried to zoom in, but I think I missed it.
yeah, it's not quite, it's almost there. You need to move that a little bit north. And Yeah, this is our lodge building where the school operation currently takes place. This is our swimming pool. Looks like a piece of Tetris, but this space right here is the lot that we want to put the school building and gymnasium on. This is our boat garage, garage space, storage sheds, staff housing. Cabins are down here on the south end. The property is very long and skinny. Up to the north, there's several staff houses that we've built with approval from this board. And so we currently operate with 9 staff people out there and 11 students in our academy. We hope to grow that over much time to no more than 50 students. This campground was originally designed, 45, 50 years ago. This was the IBA campground, Indiana Baptist Assembly campground, and I believe it was designed for about 120 kids at that time. And so septic, water systems, electricity, all of that stuff is designed for actually much more than we've ever operated on it since we've owned it since 2008, I think, and we don't intend to go to those kinds of numbers. We do operate a year-round academy at this point, so this is a year-round school for troubled teen boys only, ages 13 to 18, boys only. And we take kids that honestly have been kicked out of schools, been perhaps through juvie, are very headed down wrong paths. These are bent sticks, and we are attempting to straighten them. And so to do that, we need them all the time, and so we take guardianship of them from the parents, signed over by the parents, and they live with us 24/7. And obviously, to do that, you gotta educate them. And so basically, we're operating a high school, 9th grade through 12th grade, and we put kids in classrooms type settings, teacher-led classrooms, and we educate them in the core stuff. They end up with an Indiana Core 40 diploma at the end of it. We will be at some point attempting to get the AACS accreditation, American Association of Christian Schools. You have to have a building to get that, so that's one of the reasons that we want to do a formal building. As I said, we currently operate this program in our lodge building. It's a 2-story building, about 9,000 square feet. Allows for the bed space for the kids downstairs, kitchen, dining, all of that kind of stuff, and we carved out a couple of classrooms upstairs that we're currently using. To grow the student body much more, I can probably do 15 kids in that particular environment, but to grow much more, we're going to need schoolrooms, formalized classrooms. We run a very formal, tight ship. We don't put up with a lot of shenanigans. Our kids offer them continually, but we know how to handle them. And so the formal type setting that this building would allow kind of creates that cohesive operation that you need, where kids see what they're involved in, and they then begin to tend to operate according to their environment. And so it's going to be very nice classrooms, all the things that you would expect in a school with a teacher standing in front of the kids, teaching them history and science and math and English and those kinds of subjects. The zoning that we currently have, it's A2 zoning out there. It actually allows for a K through 12 school already. The only problem is I don't know who, so I'll just say the county looks at our school. That's for a public school. So I guess if I wanted to start a public school, we could start one, and we wouldn't come and talk. But you guys approve charter schools, you guys approve vocational training schools, anything, I guess, that's not within that standard public school setting. And so that's why this is being brought before you. But the zoning already does allow for K through 12 schools. So we believe it does fit within the already approved ordinance and standards that are expected. It is on 145 acres, so there isn't a property owner that can see this building. There isn't a property owner that can see most of our buildings. And so we're tucked nicely to the south. County Road 300 West actually dead ends into our driveway. And we have to have a big sign up at the front that says, there's no lake access down this road, because everybody thinks that you can still get to the lake. But you cannot get to the lake except by foot on DNR property. So Anyway, it's a nice setting for what we're trying to do out there. It's nice and remote, and you know, we have all the infrastructure needed to operate that. Got all the power, all the water. We have now 2 mound septic systems that have been approved and built and put into place to handle the load. And it's a gravel road that feeds it. County maintains 300 all the way to our driveway, and then we maintain it after that. So anyway,
is the demand for your services for kids, does the demand exceed what you've been able to accept?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, we have a waiting list. We were at 12 students about 2 weeks ago, and we had to remove one, and so we go to the waiting list, and we have 3 or 4 kids that are in the running to fill that spot, because right now I'm only willing to do 12 with the staffing that I have. To do more kids, I have to have more staff, and so the staffing will increase over time, and that'll be the main reason why I can expand the student base. And pretty much, well, most of our staff lives on site. There's a couple of part-time people that are off-site, but most of our staff lives on site in the housing that we've been able to provide. We actually have a little subdivision there on the north end of the property, and we don't even use the northern, of the 145 acres, the northern 80 acres, we don't even touch. There's nothing on it. It's ravines and hills and rocks and all that kind of stuff. We're all the infrastructure's on the south end.
In terms of curriculum, it's a standard high school curriculum, or are you're expanding the vocational part of that? Is that your intent?
So everything that would happen in this building is standard core classes, a lot of Abeka curriculum, a lot of Bob Jones curriculum, and then some of the other stuff that we pick, you know, that because we just like their book better, we like their curriculum better for some of the classes. But we do vocational training as part of the school. One of our classes is heavy equipment operation. And so we have a backhoe, we have a skid steer, we have a triaxle dump truck, we're going to get an excavator, we're going to have a bulldozer down the road, and literally be teaching kids how to operate all that equipment on the property. Won't happen anywhere near this building because I don't want anybody to bump into it with a bulldozer. But we have about a 5-acre site where that equipment kind of operates. Mostly we have kids dig holes and then fill them back in. So, you know, till they know how to do it efficiently and safely and well. We also have some things, now that'll be an actual class. That actually is an actual class they can get a credit for, which is really cool because the state of Indiana recently changed their diploma standards to allow more of this kind of stuff to meet the Core 40. And so we're already like right there with that stuff. We also do some other stuff on the side. They're not actual classes at this point. But we do some automotive vocational, we do a little bit of carpentry, a little bit of plumbing, some HVAC every now and again, on a much lower level, mostly just to teach these boys, you know, hey, this is stuff you need to know in life, you know. Everybody ought to know how to work on their car, you know, handle a little bit of electrical stuff, frame a wall maybe. But the heavy equipment is going to be, it is already a credit that, I mean, I've got kids that will earn a credit in it this semester doing that.
Questions, you guys? Kate?
It sounds like a fantastic program. And you know, Core 40 is not gonna be a thing after this year.
Oh, they did away with it when they did that, did they?
The diploma requirements are completely different,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah,
There's very much a vocational route, but they have to have some on-the-job experience
yeah.
in order to receive diploma.
Yeah, and we hope to partner with some companies that are going to help us to get that even on site. We have hopefully plans for a pole barn building down the road that would kind of be the hub of, it would be on that 5-acre site, which is a little bit further north of this site, but where we could build a building where they could do a lot of that training inside that building, the vocational type stuff. But that'll be a little bit down the road.
Kate, a teacher at North Putnam. She's a high school teacher at North Putnam.
Excellent,
So-
excellent. Hey, if you ever want to volunteer or substitute, I need to get your number.
What? You don't have substitutes?
You could add welding, Kate.
Yes.
Yeah, she's ag, so she teaches kids welding too.
Oh, nice.
Terry, questions from you?
One thing I had, are students allowed to leave your campus?
No.
Or under?
No, absolutely not. They only even get to see their parents on designated moments where we allow them to see their parents, called parent weekends. Happens maybe once a month. Thanksgiving and Christmas is the only time they get to go home. Those are 48-hour periods, strictly enforced. Body searches upon return, because they're not allowed to have a cell phone on the property, or many, many other things that they're not allowed to have on the property, and so they have to be checked for that, trying to sneak stuff back on. So that's the only time they actually get to be off property. If a kid comes up missing at any point in time, immediately we go into search mode, we go find the kid. And so that's like hunting through the woods, trying to find them, and bringing them back.
So, something you said I find very interesting. So you're telling me that children can survive without a cell phone?
You know what? They absolutely can.
Because-
In this day and age, they're not dying out there without their social media. It's a miracle.
Yes.
For anybody that's watching, it can happen for your kid too.
Just, and not to be intrusive, but your funding for this, do the students pay a tuition, or is this,
It's absolutely free.
okay?
Everything Good News Ministries does is free. So we have an 81-bed homeless shelter, a 10-unit family apartment homeless family shelter, a free health clinic for the neighborhood, and a youth center for neighborhood kids, all on the Near East Side of Indianapolis. That's our main campus. We've been in operation for 75 years. This is our 75th year, so we're having a big birthday all year long. But everything is funded with donations. We don't get any government grants. We don't get any programmatic grants. If the community of Central Indiana doesn't support it, we don't exist.
Your corporate offices are in Indy?
Yes.
Or your main office?
Yeah.
Kevin?
Well, I think it's cool.
I,
I do. I think it's a wonderful opportunity for some kids that probably are desperate need of some help, and you know, I commend people like you for these things. I'm impressed.
The three most likely outcomes for kids, our type of kids that do not attend our program: poverty, jail, dead.
Yep.
Period.
and Kevin and I have been on this board long enough. Is this the third time you've come before us?
Yeah.
Kevin? I'm thinking, yeah.
Hope to come back some more.
It's, it is exciting. I mean, I remember when we were approving cabins or, you know, the housing structures and
Yeah.
talking about septic plans and all of that for that space. So
Yep.
to see where you've come, it's impressive. Thank you for doing what
God
you're
is
doing.
good.
Anybody else with questions?
I will make a motion to approve as presented.
I will second it.
Thank you.
All in favor of this motion to approve this special exception for Good News Mission, say aye.
Aye.
You're good to go, and thank you for your work.
Amen. Thank you, guys. God bless you. And Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Yes.
Merry Christmas.
Yep.
How's the Mexican restaurant right now?
It's great.
Excellent.
There you go.
We'll go celebrate with it.
Good.
Be up all night if I finish.
Good luck with all of your construction and getting it done.
Thank you.
Yep,
It'll be a giant pain in the tuchus.
it will be. Okay. All righty, we need to consider meeting dates for 2026, and in your packet, you've got a potential calendar in there. Terry, there was discussion in the Plan Commission meeting, and I sat on the back row to take in the Plan Commission. So the three of us have heard this discussion, but Kevin, you want to make your suggestion for,
This was to move our meeting nights from the second Monday to the second Thursday. The planning commission would begin at 6 o'clock this way, and the BZA meeting would begin at 7:30. It gives the planning commission more time. That's what we voted on with the planning commission.
but it has to jive with the majority of the BZA and.
This board has to approve that
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
So
And
that's a change from what's on here.
correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Correct. So you can basically just kind of toss this. It's a matter of, can you meet on Thursday nights?
No, absolutely, no, I can't, I'm good.
Okay, well, that's good. Thank you. Okay, meeting to adjourn. No, I'm kidding. And we discussed moving the Plan Commission to 6 o'clock because one of the members, two of the members are coming from Indy, and it's hard for them to get to Greencastle by 5:30 on a Thursday. So we wanted to bump that. The biggest concern is having the meetings stacked on the same night. And I expressed that I didn't feel comfortable when people who are here for a Board of Zoning Appeals meeting have to sit out in the foyer area for an hour because of the Planning Commission meetings bleeding over. So that would be the reason to bump it to 7:30 from 6:30. Is that amenable to you?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Is there a way we could construct that with the BZA meeting? And I'm just gonna ask this, that the BZA meeting could start as early as 7 o'clock? Has to be absolute,
When you advertise, it's a public hearing,
okay,
so, I mean, if you started early, if you did start early, you can only do like, probably like approving minutes or something, but it wouldn't be advised.
Okay.
That's when we're
Yeah.
telling you
All
it's public, we're gonna meet, so.
Yep, yep. And as I suggested, as a, sitting in the audience of the Planning Commission, even though we get a schedule for the entire year, if we find that this doesn't work, it could be changed. It would require a public advertisement. It would have to be changed on the website for the county. There would have to be public notification if we changed it, like if we wanted to bump it back to 7 instead of 7:30. But,
I'm good with the 7:30 because like I said, if the other meeting's running over some.
yeah, yeah. And that gives us, if we have a special exception or multiple cases that go long, well, we'll shut it down by 10 o'clock, hopefully before then, so.
Yeah, you're getting into my bedtime.
I know, me too, yeah. So, I will make a motion that we officially change the meeting time for 2026 to the second Thursday of each month at 7:30 here in the Commissioners' Room.
I will second that.
All right, all in favor of that motion?
Aye.
Okay, good to go. Thanks, everybody.
Before
And-
you adjourn,
Yes.
there's no meeting in January because I don't have anything on the agenda.
Yay, yay. And the Plan Commission meeting for the four-leaf solar is on the 12th of January at 5:30 in the Cloverdale Middle School, correct?
As long as the school board approves it, they had a meeting tonight at 7, so I will know more, well, We'll know more tomorrow. They'll let us know what they decided. Yes.
Oh, the school board has this.
Yeah, the school board has to approve it.
You need a motion to adjourn?
Is there anything else that we need to cover? What about the unsafe building situation, the case that we heard in October, well, heard, didn't hear?
Yeah, we are working through that.
Yeah, that was gone, I apologize, and so I think we just kind of talked about it. Lisa
Yeah.
being gone and me missing the meeting, we just talked about it today, but I'll get started on it.
Yep.
Okay, no response from the property owner?
None.
Okay.
Nope. And then there was a question at the October meeting about the properties in New Maysville, the store specifically. Raymond asked that question, and I didn't have a good answer because it was something that I'm not really involved in.
One of them, I always forget, which is the one to the north?
The store is the one to the north that the commissioners own part, and somebody else owns the other part.
So, what, now that the redemption, now that the year has gone by, what I think, that Scott Beniak, the attorney, he represented the parties that purchased the other portion of it, with the understanding being that the commissioners would probably, within their discretion, give that other part of it that they owned, as long as the condition being that it was cleaned up. So probably just need to work through the details of that, and, because I think that with those properties, even though we're as a county entity, there's a trade-off you can do where you don't have to necessarily put it up like you would selling other real estate that the county owns. So I need to probably sit down with Scott and go through that, but it's one of those things where we did it, we had to wait all that time to make sure everything, but that's been cleared, so, I'll meet with Scott and talk to him about that. As far as the one on the south, it's just the same thing, property taxes don't get paid, and then when it gets ready to go up for sheriff's sale, somebody pays property taxes. There's two different landowners that have done that in the past. The group that runs our tax sales, I had spoken to their attorney one time, because he had brought up to Commissioner Helmer about some of these tax sale properties. I guess and again, I'm just not familiar with it, there's a mechanism within the Indiana code where if you know they're going on tax sale, you can offer them for sale to adjoining property owners. I just don't know the ins and outs of that, so it's probably something I need to, again, sit down with their attorney and discuss. Because that one's so, we've talked to relatives and things like that, but I don't even know how you would open the estate at this point in time and to get it transferred.
I have one question. Before we went to the Area Plan Commission model, I believe there was, in the Indiana State Code, the opportunity to have alternate members of the Board of Zoning Appeals. I know Raymond is sick tonight, and Raymond has given years and years and years of service and done a great job. But I know he's going to be gone. He said he's going to be gone, what, January, February, and maybe March?
I think that's what he said, yeah.
And we really need 5 members. And he's the representative from Rochdale and Russellville. And I don't want to force anybody out, but like tonight, I mean, with one who recuses, which is just fine, I'm not being critical, we really need 5 people. And so if there might be a chance to have an alternate, I mean, that alternate would.
Oh, there's one back there.
Oh, yeah, there is.
No, he can't. He's an elected official.
Can't. Yeah.
Well,
He can, however, appoint with the assistance of the Russellville
Yeah.
Town Council
would
person.
there be a possibility that Randy B could serve?
That's what I was thinking as an alternate, yeah.
It would be up to
Yeah, it would be
Rochdale
up
and
to him.
Russellville to make that
He
appointment.
was on the board for a long time.
And I don't know if Raymond wants to continue or if he feels obligated. I don't know. I think you all would need to have a conversation with him directly. He's not feeling well. He's under the weather
I know
now.
that when Lisa and I were going through the weeds and this, trying to figure out membership,
I have to go.
I know that, thank you, Kevin. Have a good Christmas.
Call me in a day or two.
Okay.
I know that when we talked about that, we, all three of them, Ron, all of them said we would be willing to serve as the designee from, Rochdale and Russellville. So we gave them all three of those names and said, these are all possibilities, and they all kind of, I think when you were here, they were all like, they weren't passionate about one
Right.
another. It was,
Right.
But I don't, yeah, I don't want disappointment, because
He just got appointed, so it's a 4-year term.
Yeah. And trust me, I'm not trying to push Raymond out at all, but I also know, if you're gonna be gone, a fourth of the year, this board needs five members who are actively able to vote under normal circumstances.
I was originally gonna be gone about that same time frame, but we're not, so.
No.
No, we normally go to Arizona for there, but we're not going this winter.
You may have given Arizona up with the BCA, I hate to tell
Well,
you.
they always claim that we bring the cold weather with us when we
Yeah.
come out there, so.
I'm just putting it out there as a consideration, and, if it would be possible to either have a conversation with Raymond to see if he's, has it in his heart to continue, or if he's feeling neutral about it, and if we could have just an alternate to be able to serve. Thank you. Let's have a motion. All right.
Move to adjourn.
All right,
Second.
and we're all in favor. Done. Thanks for staying, Zach.